Hello and welcome back to our history class. Today let us continue our history class, The Age of Empires and Assemblies, Chapter 6. Let us discuss life in the Mahajanapadas, political life, monarchies and republics, economic lives, villages, towns and cities, crafts, society and religion. First, let's see political life, monarchies. Under monarchical rule, the king was very powerful and was the supreme authority of the land. He was responsible for the protection of the people and undertook all measures to fortify the kingdom from enemies. He had a strong army to expand his territories. He was advised by the Gramini or the head of the village and the Purohit or the priest, the Amatyas or ministers, and the Senapati or commander of the army helped him in the administration. Payment of tax called Bali was made compulsory and was collected by Bali Sadakas or tax collectors. The right to collect tax made the king rich and powerful. He used this money for the army, payment of salaries, building roads and other welfare activities. Next, to republics. The political system of the Ghana Sanghas or republics differed from that of the monarchies. Here, the king was not the absolute ruler but considered a first among equals. According to Buddhist texts, the Lichavis elected one out of 7,707 rulers as their leader or Rajan. He was assisted by a council of 9 men. The text Atha Katha mentions that the administration of the Lichavis consisted of the Raja or the ruling chief, the Uparaja or the deputy chief, and the Senapati, the commander of the army. The Banda Garika or treasurer looked after the treasury. The Ghana Sanghas consisted of groups of clans. One such confederacy was the Vaji Sangha. The Ghana Sanghas consisted of Janapadas, Gramas or villages, and Gosthas or groups. Important people from each district were chosen to represent their people in the Sangha or the assembly. These representatives were called the Ghana Mukhias. Now moving on to the next topic, economic life, villages. Agriculture was the main occupation of the people. The land was owned by the village as a whole or in some cases by a headman or tribal chief who possessed a large amount of land. The text referred to Grahapati or the master of the household who owned large areas of land. The Grahapatis got the land tilled by dasas or slaves, karmakaras or laborers, and sudras. People captured in wars were made to work for the higher caste as slaves. Peasants paid 1/6 of what they produced as tax to the king. The royal officials were responsible for collecting tax. They surveyed the agricultural land. Tax could be paid either in the form of grains or money. For the first time, Pansmak coins were used to pay tax. The Jatakas mentioned royal officials measuring the amount of grain to be sent to the king's granary. Towns and cities. There is ample reference to the growth of towns and cities during this period. The Jataka tales refer to flourishing urban centers such as Rajagriha, Patliputra, Vaisali and Champa. Villages specializing in pottery, weaving, carpentry, chariot making, basket making grew into towns and became specialized craft towns. Some craft towns were capital of kingdoms like Rajagriha, which was the capital of Magadha. Nalanda and Taxila were important centers of learning, where students learned subjects such as medicine, philosophy, grammar, and astronomy. Champa and Tamraditi were port towns, and towns like Benaras were trading centers. Massive fortifications have been found around the cities of Kausambi, Ujjain, Benaras, and Rajagriha. As the population increased, trade flourished. Traders acquired a lot of wealth through various economic activities. The goods produced by the craftspeople such as textiles, pots, iron tools and ivory were carried over long distances by the merchants. Punch-marked silver coins have also been found, which are dated to around the 6th century BCE. They are called punch-marked because lumps of matter were punched with figures of hills, peacocks, trees, etc. Copper coins have also been found. These coins were used for trading. Merchants either sailed down the river or used carts to travel. Merchants also had to pay tax on the sale of goods. Moving on to crafts. The literature of the period mentions many crafts such as chariot and cart making, weaving, metalwork, agricultural tools and implements like plows, textiles and ivory objects. This era is also associated with settlements using a special pottery called the Northern Black Police Ware (NBPW). It was made of fine material and had a glossy surface. It was probably used by the richer people and was one of the major items of trade. Weaving was mostly done by women. People with the same occupation live and work together in the same town. The craftspeople organized themselves into guilds or stranies to help one another. The profession was usually hereditary and the son learned the craft from his father. Craftspeople also paid taxes to the king. Society. The Varna system became more rigid by 600 BCE. The emergence of settlements meant that there was a clear divide between the ruler and the ruled. While the Brahmanas and the Kshatriyas enjoyed the status of the upper class, the lower classes were exploited. The Vaishyas or the trading class were able to build their economic influence through trade and crafts. The Sudras and landless peasants had no rights and had to serve the upper caste. The family remained the basic unit of society. Buddhist texts make a mention of the grama or village consisting of many families. Villages were inhabited by as few as 5 families to as many as 100 families. Religion. Landmark developments took place in the area of religion with the emergence of 2 new religious sects, Jainism and Buddhism. We shall learn this in the next chapter. With this, let us conclude our class for today. We are learning about life in the Mahajanapadas. Thank you.